Yo, what is up guys? Scarface Mike here and welcome to this Yu-Gi-Oh! Top 10 video. And today I bring you the top 10 hand trap monsters. And these type of monsters seem to be trending a lot, especially in the new format. A lot of people are talking about it. I think Emissary made a video on this the other day. So yes, they're trending a lot, so I decided to make a top 10 video on it. And first of all, here's some cards that didn't quite make my top 10 but still very good hand trap monsters to use. And first of all, we've got Bajinji Crane, Barrier Resonator, Karubo, Temperance, Hedge God, Junk Defender, Cosmo Bead, Blade Master, Dragon Ice, and Phantom Dragon. So like I said before, these cards seem to be trending a lot, and a lot of people have these types of cards in your side deck or something along those lines. So first of all, getting into our top 10, and in at number 10 we've got Alley of Justice Cycle Reader. You can discard this card to select and remove from play up to 2 light monsters from your opponent's graveyard. So this card is a very good card to side deck, and if you come up against a deck with a lot of light monsters that use the graveyard a lot, such as Light Swarm, you can select this card in your deck and remove 2 light monsters just to stop the special summon of Judgment Dragon. So that's why it's so good. Now moving on to number 9, we've got Gagaga Gardna. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can special summon this card from your hand. And also, when this face-up card is targeted for an attack, you can discard 1 card. This card cannot be destroyed by battle. So a very good card, and it often will stop damage you would take, because 2000 defense, that's pretty strong, and it cannot be destroyed if you discard a card. So a very good card to have in your deck. And moving on to number 8, we've got Crow. Probably not as good as it used to be when Monster Reborn was around, but Crow is still a very good card, and a lot of people still side deck this card. You can discard this card from your hand to the graveyard to target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard, banish that target. And once again, with Dragon Rulers now not being as overpowered as they used to be, Crow is probably not as good as it used to be, but it's still a very good card against such cards such as zombies, etc. Moving on to number 7, we've got Swift Scarecrow, a very defensive card. So when your opponent declares a direct attack, you can discard this card to negate the attack and in the battle phase. So not too bad, a very defensive card to have. Then in at number 6 we've got Battle Fader, pretty much exactly the same as Swift Scarecrow. The only thing with Battle Fader is, instead of discarding this card, you special summon it and you end the battle phase. So that's why I have it ahead of Swift Scarecrow, because you special summon it instead of discarding it, and then during your next turn you've got a monster on the field that you can use for a tribute summon or something along those lines. Moving into number 5, we've got Tragoedia, the level 10 monster. When you take battle damage, you can special summon this card from your hand, and its attack and defense is equal to the amount of cards in your hand times 600. So that is pretty hectic indeed. The only thing about this card is you have to take battle damage first before you can special summon it. But a good thing to do is, during your turn, you attack one of your opponent's monsters and take a little bit of damage, maybe 500 damage or something. Then you can special summon this card and then use it for whatever you want to use it for, with an XYZ, a rank 10 XYZ monster, or a synchro summon, or whatever you want to use it for. And then moving on into number 4, we have Gorz. I just have this ahead of Tragoedia. I think it's slightly better because when you take battle damage, you can special summon a token as well, and its attack and defense are equal to the amount of battle damage you took. So that's why I have it slightly ahead of Tragoedia, because now you've got 2 monsters on the field and you can use that during your next turn for whatever special summons you want to go for, synchro summons, etc. And then moving on to number 3, we have Honest. Yes, Honest. I could have had this at number 1, but I've decided to put it at number 3. It's just a pretty overpowered card in your light deck. If you have a light monster on the field, you can use this card and pretty much you win the battle. You're pretty much guaranteed to win the battle, and you often inflict something like 2000 plus damage to your opponent, and luckily it's limited to 1. Otherwise, so many people have light decks just because of this card. And then moving into my top 2. Now my top 2, I wasn't sure which one to put at number 1, but in the end I put Maxx at number 1 and Effect Veiler at number 2. Effect Veiler, a very good card to have. Many people have it in their decks, and pretty much every deck needs this card. Effect Veiler, you'd have it in your side deck or in your main deck, whatever, and during your opponent's main phase you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to select one face-up effect monster your opponent controls and negate that effect. And not only that, it's a tuner, so if you want to synchro summon, you can normal summon this card and use it for a synchro summon. And then at number 1, I decided to put Maxx at number 1, so let me know if you agree with my choices and what would you have in your number 1, or what would your top 3 be. But I think the top 5 these are pretty much the best hand trap monsters. And then Maxx, a very good card to side deck and have in your main deck. You can activate this effect during either player's turn by sending this card from your hand to the graveyard. This turn, each time your opponent special summons a monster, draw 1 card. So if your opponent is, he loves special summoning, you can use this card and you can draw a whole heap of cards, or even better, it will stop your opponent from special summoning this turn because they're too scared of you and drawing cards. So that's how Maxx is best used, and it's just a really good card to have in your deck. So that's my top 10 hand trap monsters. Very good quick play trap monsters to use. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and have a nice day.